The warning lights bathed Commander Zix's scaled face in angry red as his ship, the Stellar Fang, limped through space on failing engines. The veteran Korthax warrior had seen countless battles across 3 galaxy spirals, but this latest skirmish with the Void Hunters had left his vessel crippled and his crew of 12 barely alive. "Sir, we're losing main power," reported his engineering officer Torque, his 6 arms working frantically over sparking control panels. "The quantum drive is completely shot and life support won't last another day." Zix's mandibles clicked in frustration. His species, the Korthax, were known throughout the galaxy as fierce warriors and skilled engineers, but even their advanced technology had limits. The Stellar Fang was a modified destroyer, bristling with plasma cannons and shield generators, yet it now drifted helplessly through an unfamiliar star system. "What's our position?" Zix growled, his 3 eyes scanning the tactical display. "Unknown system, Commander. Our navigation computer was damaged in the battle. I'm reading a yellow star with several planets. One appears to be in the habitable zone." Torque paused, checking his readings twice. "Sir, I'm detecting artificial electromagnetic signatures from the 3rd planet. There might be a civilization there." Zix considered their options. The Galactic Council had strict protocols about contacting primitive species, but survival trumped regulations. "What's their technological level?" "Preliminary scans suggest they've achieved atomic energy and basic space flight. They appear to be in their early industrial space age." Torque's voice carried uncertainty. "Commander, the electromagnetic patterns are unusual, more complex than expected for their supposed development level. Set course for the planet. We need repairs, and maybe these primitives can help us." Zix knew it was a long shot. Most species at that technological level could barely maintain their own primitive spacecraft, let alone help repair advanced alien technology. As the Stellar Fang approached the blue and green world, Zix was surprised by what he saw. The planet teemed with artificial structures, bright lights visible even from orbit, and numerous small craft moving between the surface and what appeared to be several space stations. "Sir, they're hailing us," reported his communications officer, Vrex. "Multiple sources, actually. They seem to have detected us." On screen, the main display flickered to life, showing a human face. Zix had never seen this species before, but the being appeared calm and professional, despite the obvious shock of first contact with aliens. "Unknown vessel, this is Earth Traffic Control. You appear to be in distress. Do you require assistance?" Zix blinked his 3 eyes in surprise. Most primitive species either attacked or fled when encountering superior alien technology. These humans immediately offered help. "This is Commander Zix of the Korthax Stellar Navy. Our ship has suffered critical damage and requires repairs. We mean no harm to your world." The human on the screen nodded. "Understood, Commander. I'm directing you to Luna Station for emergency docking. Our engineering teams are standing by. Please transmit your technical specifications so we can prepare appropriate assistance." Within hours, the Stellar Fang was secured in a massive docking bay that Zix realized had been hastily modified to accommodate his ship. Humans in environmental suits swarmed over his vessel, carrying equipment and scanning devices that looked surprisingly sophisticated. A tall human woman approached, removing her helmet to reveal short brown hair and intelligent brown eyes. "Commander Zix, I'm Chief Engineer Sarah Chen. We've analyzed your ship's systems and honestly, we're amazed you made it this far. Your quantum drive has 3 major fractures and your power matrix is completely destabilized." Zix studied the human carefully. Her confidence was surprising for a member of what should be a primitive species. "Can your people repair our ship?" Sarah smiled, an expression that Zix found oddly reassuring. "We can do better than repair it. We can upgrade it. Your technology is fascinating, but we've noticed some inefficiencies in your design. With your permission, we'd like to implement some improvements while we're fixing the damage." Improvements? Zix's mandibles clicked skeptically. No offense, but your species appears to be centuries behind our technological development. That's where you might be surprised, Sarah replied. We may not have your level of space technology, but we've developed some unique solutions to engineering problems. Our approach tends to be different from what we've observed in galactic standard designs. Over the next day, Zix watched in growing amazement as human engineers worked on his ship. They didn't just repair the damaged systems, they redesigned them. The quantum drive was rebuilt with what they called redundant safety protocols and efficiency optimization algorithms. The power matrix was completely restructured using something called modular architecture. But what truly shocked Zix was when a young human technician casually handed him a steaming cup of brown liquid. Coffee, the human explained. Figured you might be tired. It's got caffeine, helps with alertness. Zix cautiously tasted the beverage and felt an immediate surge of energy and clarity. Within an hour, he was demanding to know everything about this miraculous substance. You mean this grows naturally on your planet? He asked Dr. Maria Santos, a xenobiologist who had been assigned to ensure the alien crew's biological needs were met. Coffee beans, yes. We've been cultivating and consuming coffee for thousands of years. There are hundreds of varieties with different flavor profiles and caffeine concentrations. Zix's crew had gathered in the station's observation lounge, each nursing their own cup of coffee and looking more alert than they had in weeks. The humans had gone out of their way to accommodate them, adjusting atmospheric pressure and temperature, providing food that was not only nutritious for Korthak's physiology, but actually delicious. Commander, Torque approached, his excitement barely contained. You need to see what they've done to our engines. The humans have increased our efficiency by 40% and added something they call adaptive shielding that automatically adjusts to incoming fire. Chief Engineer Chen joined them, carrying a tablet displaying technical schematics. We've also taken the liberty of upgrading your communications array and adding what we call stealth coding to your hull. It won't make you invisible, but it'll significantly reduce your sensor signature. Zix studied the modifications, his engineer's mind struggling to process the elegant solutions the humans had implemented. How did you develop such advanced techniques? Sarah exchanged a glance with Dr. Santos before answering. Human engineering philosophy is based on adaptability and redundancy. We've had to overcome significant challenges on our world, and that's driven us to find creative solutions. We also have a saying, if it's not broken, improve it anyway. But your space program appears to be in its infancy, Zix protested. That's true, Sarah admitted. We've only been seriously exploring space for about a century, but we've been solving engineering problems for millennia. We just apply those same principles to space technology. As the repairs continued, Zix found himself spending more time with the humans, learning about their culture and history. He was particularly fascinated by their military history and their approach to warfare. Admiral Janet Thompson, the station commander, shared stories of human conflicts with a casual tone that masked the strategic brilliance behind many of their victories. We've learned that superior technology doesn't always guarantee victory, she explained over dinner. Adaptability, resourcefulness, and the ability to think outside conventional parameters often matter more than raw firepower. Zix nodded thoughtfully. In his centuries of military service, he had seen technologically superior forces defeated by cleverer opponents, but humans seem to have made unconventional thinking an art form. Your species is remarkable, he admitted. Most civilizations we encounter are either far more advanced than yours or significantly more primitive. Few show such rapid technological development combined with innovative thinking. Admiral Thompson smiled. We're young on the galactic stage, but we learn fast. Speaking of which, we'd like to make you an offer. She activated a holographic display showing star charts of the surrounding systems. We know you're being pursued by these void hunters. Our deep space sensors have detected several of their ships entering this system. Zix's blood chilled. How many ships? 12 vessels, including what appears to be a battle cruiser. They'll reach Earth's orbit in approximately 18 hours. The Korthax commander stood abruptly, his warrior instincts taking over. We must leave immediately. We cannot bring this conflict to your world. Your people don't deserve to suffer for our presence here. Sit down, Commander, Admiral Thompson said calmly. We're not running. Admiral, with respect, you don't understand what you're facing. The Void Hunters are among the most vicious pirates in the galaxy. Their technology is nearly equal to ours, and they show no mercy to any species they encounter. Admiral Thompson's smile turned predatory. Commander Zix, you're thinking like someone who's never seen humans fight. She manipulated the holographic display, and Zix gasped as hundreds of contact signatures appeared throughout the system. Ships were emerging from behind asteroids, from the shadows of moons, and from what appeared to be empty space itself. What you're seeing is the Earth Defense Fleet. Every ship you see was built in the last 50 years. We've been preparing for the day we'd encounter hostile alien forces. Zix stared at the display in disbelief. This is impossible. Your industrial capacity couldn't possibly support a fleet of this size. Commander, you're about to learn something important about humans, Admiral Thompson replied. When we're threatened, we don't just fight back. We build armies. And right now, the Void Hunters are about to discover what happens when you threaten Earth. The tactical display showed the Void Hunter fleet advancing confidently toward what they assumed was a defenseless primitive world, completely unaware that they were flying into the largest military trap in human history. As Zix watched the converging fleets, he realized that his simple request for repairs had somehow evolved into something much larger. The humans weren't just fixing his ship. They were preparing to demonstrate why humanity was destined to become a major power in the galaxy. The coffee cup in his hands had gone cold, but the warmth of human hospitality and the cold efficiency of their military preparation told him everything he needed to know about these remarkable beings. Earth wasn't just offering repairs. It was offering an alliance with the most surprisingly dangerous species he had ever encountered. Commander Zix stood in the command center of Luna Station, watching the tactical display with growing amazement and concern. The Void Hunter fleet approached Earth with the confidence of predators who had never encountered effective resistance. Their 12 ships moved in a standard attack formation, the massive battlecruiser Bone Render leading the assault with its escort of destroyers and frigates. Admiral Thompson, Zix said urgently, you need to understand what you're facing. Captain Scar of the Bone Render has destroyed over 300 worlds. His ship alone carries enough firepower to crack your planet's crust. Admiral Thompson stood calmly at the central command station, her fingers dancing across holographic controls. Noted, Commander. Captain Chen, status report on our guest's vessel? Chief Engineer Sarah Chen's voice crackled through the communication system from the docking bay. The Stellar Fang is ready for combat, Admiral. All systems are operating at 115% efficiency. Commander Zix's crew should be very pleased with the modifications. Zix's three eyes widened. 115%? That's beyond our ship's theoretical maximum output. Human engineering, Sarah replied cheerfully. We don't really believe in theoretical limits. Oh, and Commander? We took the liberty of adding a few surprises to your weapons systems. You'll find the targeting computer is much more responsive now. The Korthax officer felt a mixture of gratitude and bewilderment. In less than 2 days, these humans had not only repaired his ship, but had somehow improved it beyond its original specifications. More troubling was the casual way they discussed facing a fleet that could devastate star systems. Admiral, reported a young human officer, Void Hunter fleet will reach engagement range in 47 minutes. They're maintaining standard approach vectors and don't appear to have detected our defensive positions. Admiral Thompson nodded. Commander Morrison, signal all fleet elements. Execute Operation Welcome Wagon on my mark. Zix studied the tactical display more carefully and noticed something that made his blood run cold. The human ships were positioned throughout the solar system in what appeared to be random defensive positions, but as he analyzed their placement, he realized they formed a complex three-dimensional trap. The Void Hunters were flying directly into a carefully orchestrated ambush. Admiral, how did you position so many ships without being detected? He asked. Stealth technology, she replied. Same principles we used on your ship's hull coating, just scaled up. Our ships have been in position for 6 hours, running silent and cold. The Void Hunter's sensors won't detect them until we're ready to spring the trap. A new voice joined the conversation as Dr. Rebecca Martinez, a theoretical physicist, approached the command station. Commander Zix, we've been studying the technical specifications of your ship's weapons and shielding. We think we've identified some significant vulnerabilities in Void Hunter technology. She activated a smaller holographic display showing detailed schematics of Void Hunter vessels. Their plasma cannons are extremely powerful, but have a significant recharge delay between shots. Their shields are strong, but use a rotating frequency that can be predicted and exploited. Most importantly, their ships are designed for intimidation as much as combat, which means they prioritize raw power over tactical flexibility. Zix examined the analysis and felt his mandibles click in appreciation. This is remarkably detailed intelligence. How did you acquire this information? Dr. Martinez smiled. We've been monitoring galactic communications for decades. When you mentioned the Void Hunters, we accessed our databases and found extensive records of their encounters with other species. We've been analyzing their tactics and technology for the past 18 hours. You've been listening to galactic communications without anyone knowing? Zix asked. Radio telescopy and signal intelligence are human specialties, Admiral Thompson explained. We've been monitoring extraterrestrial communications since we first developed radio technology. We know about the Galactic Council, the trade routes, the various conflicts. We just haven't announced our presence yet. The implications of this revelation struck Zix like a physical blow. You mean humanity has been preparing for galactic contact for decades? Longer than that, Dr. Martinez replied. We've been planning for the possibility of hostile alien contact since the 1950s. What you're seeing today is the result of 75 years of preparation and development. Commander Morrison called out, Admiral, Void Hunter fleet has crossed the outer system perimeter. Captain Scar is broadcasting on all frequencies, demanding immediate surrender and offering his usual terms. Put him on screen, Admiral Thompson ordered. The main display showed a massive reptilian alien with scarred skin and cybernetic implants covering half his face. Captain Scar's voice boomed through the command center with the confidence of someone who had never been seriously challenged. Primitive species of the third planet, I am Captain Scar of the Void Hunters. You have harbored an enemy of our fleet and must face the consequences. Surrender now, and we will grant you a quick death. Resist, and we will make your world suffer for 1,000 years. Admiral Thompson stepped forward, her expression calm and professional. Captain Scar, this is Admiral Janet Thompson of the Earth Defense Fleet. You have entered our sovereign space and threatened our world. You have one opportunity to withdraw from this system immediately. Scar's laughter was a harsh, grating sound. Earth Defense Fleet? Primitive mammals? Your entire species couldn't challenge a single one of my ships. I see no fleet, only empty space and a helpless world. Your sensors need calibration, Admiral Thompson replied coolly. Allow me to assist you with that. She gestured to Commander Morrison, who transmitted a single coded signal. Instantly, over 200 ships materialized on sensors throughout the solar system as their stealth systems deactivated. The Void Hunter fleet suddenly found themselves surrounded by vessels emerging from behind asteroids, planetary shadows, and the empty void of space itself. Scar's confident expression faltered as his tactical display filled with contact signatures. "Impossible. My sensors showed no ships." "Captain, you're looking at the combined might of the Earth Defense Fleet," Admiral Thompson announced. 75 years of human engineering, determination, and very strong coffee. I strongly suggest you reconsider your position." Zix watched in fascination as the Void Hunter formation began to shift into a defensive posture. The pirates were clearly stunned by the sudden appearance of such a massive fleet, but their natural aggression and arrogance quickly reasserted themselves. "Clever tricks, mammals," Scar snarled. "But your primitive ships cannot match Void Hunter firepower. All vessels, attack formation. We'll turn this system into a graveyard." Admiral Thompson's expression didn't change. "Commander Morrison, signal all fleet elements, weapons free, show them what human firepower looks like." The battle began with a coordinated strike that Zix recognized as tactically brilliant. Instead of engaging in a direct assault, the human ships used their superior numbers and positioning to attack from multiple vectors simultaneously. Void Hunter vessels found themselves taking fire from directions they couldn't effectively defend against. But what truly amazed Zix was the quality of human weapons and tactics. The energy beams that lanced out from Earth ships were incredibly precise, targeting specific systems on Void Hunter vessels rather than attempting brute force destruction. Within minutes, several enemy ships found their engines disabled or their weapons offline. "Admiral, this is Captain Rodriguez on the EDF Resilience," a voice reported over the communications channel. "We've disabled 3 enemy destroyers and are moving to assist Fleet Group Charlie." "Acknowledged, Captain. Maintain pressure on their flanks." Zix noticed something else remarkable about the human fleet's performance. Their coordination was flawless, with ships supporting each other and adapting to changing tactical situations with incredible speed. It was as if the entire fleet operated as a single organism. "How do you achieve such perfect coordination?" he asked Admiral Thompson. "Network-centric warfare," she replied without taking her eyes off the tactical display. "Every ship in our fleet is connected through quantum communication links. Our artificial intelligence systems process battlefield data in real time and provide tactical recommendations to our commanders. It's like having 200 ships with one shared brain." The Bone Render finally entered the battle personally, its massive plasma cannons capable of destroying Earth ships with single shots. But the humans had anticipated this threat. Instead of engaging the battlecruiser directly, they used swarm tactics, forcing it to divide its fire among dozens of targets, while smaller ships attacked its blind spots. "Commander Zix," Chief Engineer Chen's voice came through the communications system. "Your ship is ready for launch if you'd like to join the battle. We've added some modifications that we think you'll find useful." Zix looked at Admiral Thompson, who nodded. "Your choice, Commander. But if you're going out there, you'll be fighting alongside Earth vessels." The Korthax commander made his decision quickly. These humans had not only repaired his ship and treated his crew with remarkable hospitality, they were now fighting his enemies to protect his people. Honor demanded that he stand with them. "Admiral, request permission to launch the Stellar Fang and join your fleet." "Permission granted. Welcome to the Earth Defense Fleet, Commander." As Zix and his crew rushed to their ship, he reflected on the incredible turn of events. What had started as a desperate search for repairs had become an alliance with the most impressive military force he had ever witnessed. The humans weren't just fighting the Void Hunters, they were systematically dismantling them with tactical precision that spoke to decades of preparation and an approach to warfare that was uniquely human. The Stellar Fang launched from Luna Station and immediately joined the battle. Zix was amazed to discover that his ship's performance had indeed improved dramatically. The weapons were more accurate, the shields more responsive, and the engine efficiency allowed for maneuvers that had been impossible before the human upgrades. But most remarkably, he found himself integrated into the human fleet's communication network. Tactical data flowed directly to his command display, and he could coordinate his attacks with nearby Earth vessels as if they had been fighting together for years. Stellar Fang, this is EDF Defiance, a human captain communicated. We're coordinating a strike on the Bone Render's port weapon clusters. Are you able to assist? Affirmative. Defiance. Stellar Fang standing by for coordinated attack. As they executed the assault, Zix realized that he wasn't just fighting alongside humans. He had become part of their fleet. The integration was so seamless that it felt natural, as if this had always been his place in the universe. The battle was turning decisively in Earth's favor, but Zix knew that Captain Scar would have one final desperate gambit. Void Hunter captains were notorious for their willingness to destroy everything around them rather than accept defeat. His prediction proved correct when sensors detected a massive energy buildup within the Bone Render's core systems. "Admiral," Dr. Martinez's voice carried urgent alarm. "The battlecruiser is overloading its reactor. If it detonates, the explosion will destroy everything within a 50,000-kilometer radius, including Luna Station." Admiral Thompson's response was immediate and calm. "All ships, emergency withdrawal to minimum safe distance. Commander Zix, can your vessel's upgraded systems handle a reactor containment field?" Zix checked his new capabilities and found systems he didn't recognize but somehow understood. "Admiral, I believe so, but I'll need support from your fleet to maintain position." "You'll have it. All ships, form up on the Stellar Fang. We're going to contain this explosion and save everyone in this system." As the combined Earth and Korthax vessels moved toward the overloading battlecruiser, Zix realized that this moment would define not just the outcome of the battle, but the beginning of a partnership that would change the galaxy forever. The Stellar Fang raced toward the overloading Bone Render with a dozen Earth vessels flying in perfect formation around it. Zix had never experienced such precise fleet coordination, but the human tactical network made it feel as natural as breathing. Energy readings from the Void Hunter battlecruiser spiked dangerously as Captain Scar initiated a core overload that would turn his ship into a weapon of mass destruction. "Commander Zix, initiating containment field projection in 30 seconds, Admiral Thompson's voice came through the communications network. "Your ship's modified deflector array should interface perfectly with our containment matrix." Zix studied the new systems that the humans had installed during their repairs. The modifications weren't just improvements, they were completely revolutionary approaches to energy manipulation that his people had never conceived. The deflector array could now project stable energy fields across distances that should have been impossible. "Admiral, I'm reading massive gravitometric fluctuations from the Bone Render," reported Dr. Martinez from Luna Station. "The reactor overload is creating artificial gravity wells. If this detonates, it won't just destroy everything in the immediate area. It could destabilize orbital mechanics throughout the entire system." "Understood. All vessels engage containment field on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark." The combined fleet fired their containment projectors simultaneously, creating a sphere of intersecting energy fields around the dying battlecruiser. Zix felt his ship shudder as power flowed through systems that were performing far beyond their original specifications. But the human modifications held perfectly. "Containment field stable," reported Captain Rodriguez from the EDF Resilience. "Energy absorption is within acceptable parameters." What happened next defied everything Zix thought he knew about physics. Instead of simply containing the explosion, the combined human and Korthax technology began converting the destructive energy into usable power. The containment field absorbed the massive detonation and channeled it through a network of energy collectors that the Earth ships had deployed. "Admiral Thompson," Chief Engineer Chen's excited voice crackled through the communications system, We're successfully harvesting the reactor explosion. This energy output could power Luna Station for 6 months. Admiral Thompson's response was characteristically calm. Excellent work, Chief. Commander Zix, your ship's performance during this operation has been extraordinary. Human Korthax technology integration appears to be remarkably effective. As the energy discharge subsided and the containment field powered down, Zix found himself staring at empty space where the bone render had been moments before. The massive battlecruiser had been completely consumed by its own reactor overload, but instead of creating a devastating explosion, the combined fleet had turned the destruction into a controlled energy harvest. All vessels, return to base, Admiral Thompson ordered. Victory debrief in 2 hours. Commander Zix, please join us on Luna Station for a comprehensive mission analysis. The flight back to Luna Station gave Zix time to process what had just occurred. The Void Hunter fleet had been completely destroyed or disabled without the loss of a single Earth vessel. More importantly, the humans had demonstrated technological capabilities that challenged his understanding of what was possible for a species so young in galactic terms. In the debriefing room, Admiral Thompson stood before a holographic display showing the battle's progression. Around the conference table sat human fleet commanders, Chief Engineer Chen, Dr. Martinez, and several other specialists whose expertise had contributed to the victory. Today's engagement demonstrated several important principles, Admiral Thompson began. First, that superior firepower doesn't guarantee victory when facing adaptive tactics and superior coordination. Second, that defensive technology can be just as important as offensive capabilities. And third, that cooperation between different species and technologies can produce results that exceed the sum of their individual parts. Commander Morrison raised his hand. Admiral, the sensor data from Commander Zix's ship provided crucial intelligence about Void Hunter weaknesses. Without that information, our targeting solutions wouldn't have been nearly as effective. Dr. Martinez nodded in agreement. The integration between human and Korthax technology exceeded our most optimistic projections. The combined deflector arrays generated energy fields that neither of our species could have created independently. Zix listened to the analysis with growing amazement. These humans didn't just fight. They studied, learned, and improved with every engagement. Their approach to warfare was fundamentally different from anything he had encountered in his centuries of military service. Admiral, Zix said, I must ask a difficult question. How long have you been preparing for galactic conflict? Admiral Thompson exchanged glances with her senior staff before responding. Commander, humanity has been preparing for the possibility of hostile alien contact since we first detected artificial radio signals from space in 1967. We've been monitoring galactic communications and studying alien technology for over 50 years. But you've never made contact with the Galactic Council? Zix asked. Dr. Martinez answered this question. We decided long ago that our first contact with galactic civilization should happen when we could negotiate from a position of strength rather than weakness. Today's battle proves that we've achieved that goal. Chief Engineer Chen activated another holographic display showing technical schematics. Commander Zix, we'd like to make you an offer. The modifications we made to your ship are just the beginning of what's possible through human-Korthax cooperation. We have ideas for technology integration that could revolutionize space travel, energy generation, and defensive systems. Zix studied the schematics and felt his mind reel at the implications. The humans were proposing technological advances that could change the balance of power throughout the galaxy. What exactly are you suggesting? Admiral Thompson leaned forward. We're suggesting a formal alliance, Commander. The Earth Defense Fleet and the Korthax Stellar Navy working together to bring stability and prosperity to this region of space. The Void Hunters were just one threat among many. Our intelligence indicates there are far worse dangers lurking in the galaxy. An alliance? Zix considered the proposal carefully. I would need authorization from High Command, but after what I've witnessed here, I believe such an arrangement would be beneficial to both our peoples." "We thought you might say that," Admiral Thompson replied with a smile, "which is why we've prepared a comprehensive demonstration of human capabilities for your High Command to review." She gestured to Commander Morrison, who activated the main display showing star charts of the surrounding systems. Over the past 72 hours, Earth Defense Fleet vessels have established forward observation posts in 12 neighboring star systems. We've also initiated contact with 3 non-aligned species who have expressed interest in establishing trade relationships with Earth. Zix stared at the display in disbelief. "You've expanded your sphere of influence across 12 systems in 3 days? Human logistics and engineering capabilities are quite extensive," Dr. Martinez explained. "We can establish and supply forward bases faster than most species can plan their deployment strategies." Chief Engineer Chen stood and walked to another control panel. "Commander, we've also prepared a gift for your High Command." The display showed a sleek vessel that combined recognizable Korthax design elements with clearly human technological enhancements. This is a prototype courier ship built using combined human Korthax technology. It can travel at speeds approaching 150% of standard Korthax vessels and carries communication equipment that will allow real-time coordination across interstellar distances. "You built an entire ship in 3 days?" Zix asked weakly. "Human industrial capacity is one of our defining characteristics," Admiral Thompson replied. "When we decide to build something, we build it quickly and we build it well." Dr. Martinez activated yet another display showing complex mathematical projections. "Commander, our analysis indicates that human Korthax technological cooperation could advance both our civilizations by approximately 200 years within the next decade. The potential benefits are extraordinary." Zix looked around the room at the confident faces of these remarkable humans and realized that his simple request for repairs had initiated something far beyond his imagination. These people weren't just offering to fix his ship, they were offering to change the galaxy. "Admiral Thompson," he said slowly, "I believe I need to contact my High Command immediately. What I have to report will challenge their understanding of human capabilities." "Of course," Admiral Thompson replied. "Use whatever communication methods you prefer. However, we should mention that our quantum communication network can provide real-time contact with Korthax space if that would be more convenient." "You can communicate in real time across interstellar distances?" Zix's voice carried a note of desperation. Every revelation about human capabilities forced him to reconsider everything he thought he knew about galactic technology levels. "Quantum entanglement communication," Dr. Martinez explained. "We've had the technology for about 15 years. Range is essentially unlimited as long as both ends of the communication link have properly paired quantum transmitters." 3 hours later, Zix stood in Luna Station's communications center, speaking directly with Admiral Krex, the Supreme Commander of the Korthax Stellar Navy. The conversation was taking place in real time across a distance of over 40 light years, something that should have been impossible. "Commander Zix, your report is difficult to believe," Admiral Krex's image said from the quantum communication display. "You're telling me that this human species defeated an entire Void Hunter fleet without losses?" "Yes, sir. Not only defeated them, but converted their final attack into a controlled energy harvest. Admiral, human military capabilities are extraordinary, but their technology integration and industrial capacity are beyond anything I've previously encountered." "And they're offering a formal alliance?" "Yes, sir. I've reviewed their proposals, and I believe this partnership could transform our strategic position in this region of space. The humans have capabilities that complement our own strengths while addressing several of our technological limitations." Admiral Krex was quiet for a long moment before responding. "Commander, I'm authorizing you to negotiate preliminary agreements with these humans. However, I want complete technical specifications and strategic assessments before any final commitments are made. Understood, sir. Admiral Thompson has already prepared comprehensive documentation for your review. Very well. Commander Zix, you are hereby appointed as our official liaison to the Earth Defense Fleet. Your mission is to evaluate the potential for long-term cooperation and report back with recommendations for full alliance protocols. As the communication ended, Zix realized that his life had fundamentally changed. He was no longer just a ship commander in need of repairs. He had become the bridge between two species whose partnership could reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. Admiral Thompson approached with a fresh cup of coffee and a smile. Good news, Commander. Very good news, Admiral. It appears that the Korthax Stellar Navy is very interested in exploring closer ties with Earth. Excellent. In that case, let me show you our plans for the next phase of human expansion into galactic space. I think you'll find our projections quite interesting. As they walked toward the Strategic Planning Center, Zix reflected on the extraordinary chain of events that had brought him to this moment. He had come to Earth seeking simple repairs for his damaged ship. Instead, he had found coffee, technological marvels, and the most impressive military alliance partner his people could have hoped for. The galaxy was about to discover that humanity's entry onto the galactic stage would not be quiet or gradual. With the Earth Defense Fleet's capabilities and Korthax experience, they would become a force that would demand respect from even the most established galactic powers. And it had all started with a simple request for repairs and a cup of remarkably good coffee.